Hello, everybody. My name is Anna Corinne Huffman. I use she, her pronouns, and I work within the Office of Civic Engagement. This is a brief overview of restorative justice and what that is. This presentation was inspired by AS Productions' efforts that started much earlier than this, but an event that they are hosting that started yesterday and kind of will carry out throughout the coming weeks that focuses on art that is created by incarcerated individuals. And you can check out this art at the virtual view gallery, which is online. And by looking more into AS Productions events related to this, there will be a letter writing session to incarcerated individuals and a film screening as well. And so we really thank AS Productions for shedding light on this important discussion. So without further ado, what is restorative justice? And I'll give you a brief overview in terms of statistics that I find important when thinking about restorative justice. At least 95% of all state incarcerated individuals are released from prison at some point. And over 10,000 incarcerated individuals are released from America's state and federal prisons every week. Over 65,000 individuals are released from prison every year. And then also approximately 2/3 will likely be rearrested within 3 years of release. And I think this statistic is really important. And it really makes us wonder, or it makes me wonder at least, why is there such a high level of rearrest? And we can kind of turn to restorative justice as a way um, to diminish that number and make people and diminish the chances of being rearrested after release from prison. So what is restorative justice? Restorative justice is a philosophy and a social movement that takes on a different view of crime and victimization within the prison system. Our current system in the United States focuses on punishment. It's a retributive justice system, but restorative justice focuses on healing and rehabilitation using a strong human rights analysis. This focuses on allowing incarcerates to take responsibility for their actions and help victims move beyond their sense of vulnerability. And so in this way, it's really helping both the incarcerated individual and the victim. So it works to help restore not necessarily a relationship, but create a sense of closure and moving on that is better for both parties. And so restorative justice also sees crime as a failure of society, culture, systems, and human relationships. And it really prioritizes mending relationships through open dialogue, community support, involvement, and inclusion. So what are the benefits of restorative justice? Restorative justice aims to remove the stigma of incarceration to help reintegrate individuals once they leave prison. And so this is kind of the key benefit, is to help people succeed once they are released from prison. And within the prison system, it would allow individuals who are incarcerated to access resources such as mental health resources, job training, and other things that would help them grow in terms of interpersonal skills, etc. And so this aims to give incarcerated individuals job skills for when they leave prison, and it empowers people to make the best choices for their lives. And in this way, it would reduce that, as I mentioned, that statistic earlier, it would reduce rates of reincarceration and allow people to be more successful once they are released from prison. And so restorative justice in practice, in some African countries, they acknowledge the role of colonialism in influencing crime, and they operate from a restorative lens. In Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, and a few other countries, they work to promote healing, and they aim to restore relationships between offenders, victims, and their communities. In Sweden, incarcerated individuals and victims can also meet through a mediation process, and this can allow both parties to move on and come to terms with past mistakes and events. And then one example in the United States, Vermont has a few justice centers that allow ex-incarcerated individuals. It provides a group of support for once they leave prison. And these one kind of rebuttal against this program is that they can be costly. They can cost about $10,000 a year, but the price of supporting these individuals is actually much cheaper than paying prisons. So this is something important to note. when considering the benefits of restorative justice. And so then relating this back to AS Productions' series of events that they're hosting, we can turn to the value of art. The United States prison system does not operate with a restorative justice lens in mind by and large, but the use of art in prisons can have many benefits and can be restorative in nature. So it's really incredible that AS Productions is putting on this event, really highlighting one restorative feature that can exist in prisons and the benefits they provide. It allows folks who are incarcerated to interact creatively with the medium and with others. And it can include creative writing, poetry, visual art, dance, drama, and music. And this allows individuals to experience, beauty and aesthetic engagement and creativity, which is something beyond the state's management and the experience of being in prison. And so it can be very therapeutic and restorative in nature. And so there are the sources I used for this presentation. And if you're interested in learning more about restorative justice, I definitely encourage you all to do so. Once again, I want to thank AS Productions for kind of spotlighting this important conversation, and I encourage you to take a look um, at their events and at the art that is displayed in the VU virtual gallery online. All right, thank you very much.